Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Rewards Canada's This Week in Rewards for May 13th through to the 19th of 2023. Hope everyone's had a great week and is getting ready for the May long weekend here up north in Canada. I know we sometimes get viewers from outside of Canada, so I'm not sure. I believe it's next week, or maybe it's this weekend too. Is down in the U.S. their President's Day. But anyways, we have May long weekend here, Victoria Day weekend in Canada. Hope everybody's got lots of great plans. Hope the weather works out for everybody going out and enjoying the outdoors. The big news for the long weekend was WestJet's strike was averted, luckily, just in time for the long weekend. Now, that being said, they did cancel flights preemptively, kind of proactively there. So there are some stranded travelers, but nothing as big as was anticipated. Had, of course, the pilots gone on strike. This was a last minute deal. I think I first saw the news about 11 p.m. last night Mountain Time, and they were supposed to start going on strike at 3 a.m. So about 4 hours before we saw this agreement come through. It's tentative, but at least it has averted the strike, and hopefully within a few days, WestJet has their schedule back on track, and everybody is flying with WestJet. And they're not worried about canceled flights other than, ones that are canceled for weather or those type of things. So anyways, that was the big news to start off today was, of course, this has been dominating the news outside of the wildfires in Alberta and the four-period overtime last night between Florida and Carolina. The big news was WestJet averting the strike. It's been in the news for over a week. Everybody preparing for it. So good news, that is all done. Keeping kind of on the news side in this episode, we'll start off also with the government of Canada announced that they have finalized an agreement with Visa and MasterCard. This was first announced back in 2018 that they were working on this agreement, and now it's been finalized. That will see Visa and MasterCard lower the interchange fee to small businesses in Canada. And so what this is going to do is on average lower the interchange fee to 0.95%. That roughly, they said about 90% or over 90% of businesses in Canada can take advantage of. These are small businesses that charge less than or 300,000 or less on Visa sales per year and 175,000 or less in MasterCard sales per year, that they'll be able to get these better rates from Visa and MasterCard starting in 2024. So what does that mean in terms of rewards? Well, we don't know yet. It's too early to tell. Government in Canada, in their press release, did state that Visa and MasterCard have promised to protect rewards. Now, what does protect mean? Well, that can mean anything. At the very least, it's going to mean the points or cash back that you have in your accounts when these changes happen will be protected. You won't lose them, but in all likelihood, it's going to mean that earn rates will likely stay the same, or who knows. But I'm hoping for something more than that, but because it's such a vaguely worded proposition from them to protect, rewards means, we'll still issue rewards, but there's no word on the value of those rewards and what's going to happen to them. So entirely possible we'll see some devaluations when this happens. I don't think we'll see rewards go away. Some people say, it's the end of rewards as we know it. That's not going to be the case. We haven't seen that in other jurisdictions where there are caps on interchange fees or lowering interchange fees. Those there's still reward programs there. And you have to remember, this is I think a little bit different than some of those other jurisdictions. This is an average to small businesses. Yeah, they say 90% of small businesses, but I think that's on paper in terms of businesses. Like they count Shell for all of Canada as probably one business. So, percentage-wise, the name Shell takes up very little, but in terms of locations, there's tons of locations. So percentage-wise, I think location-wise, we have a lot more big businesses who aren't affected by this, and we're going to continue to see the rewards as we know it, or something very closely. I mean, I think if the devaluations are going to happen, it's going to be more on the lower end of the spectrum, the lower end cards. They might lower the rates on those, the interchange rates, to make the value, hit that average of 0.95, but still charge the higher percentage rates on the premium cards, so those can still provide the rewards, because those are the big money makers for the banks. So you know, I guess only time will tell. It's still literally about a year and a half away before these new interchange rates will kick in, these lower rates for Visa and MasterCard for small businesses. And they have to apply to Visa and MasterCard to receive those rates. So um, hopefully they all do. I mean, this is great for small business to put that savings in their pockets. I don't foresee the savings to be um, passed on to the consumers. But if it's something that can help these small businesses compete against the big guys, that's great. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, it's still kind of early, but as soon as we learn more, of course, we'll always pass that along to you guys. So those were kind of the two big news issues or things of this week, where it was the WestJet strike being averted, and Visa Mastercard news with the Canadian government. So now let's go more into like the whole points, miles, credit cards, the things we love to talk about, and people love to hear on our site and our social media and our live streams and our podcast. And we'll quickly touch upon Accor Hotels and Qatar Airways, their partnership, much like the Air France and Accor Hotels offer earlier this year. Right now, when you link their accounts between your all like Accor Live Limitless and Qatar Airways Privilege Club, you can earn 500 bonus points on your next Accor hotel stays, and that includes Fairmont hotels here in Canada. And or you can earn 1,000 bonus avios on your next Qatar Airways flight. So this is something to look into. And Rewards Canada's David asked, if he can, jump on this offer, because he was on the Air France offer earlier this year. And unfortunately, you cannot. It has to be a 12-month waiting period before you switch your kind of airline allegiance with your Accor Hotels account. So if you took advantage of the Air France KLM one, unfortunately, you cannot take advantage of this Qatar Airways one for that bonus. That's something to check out. That runs until I believe sometime in July. So if you can link your accounts and want to earn some bonus avios or bonus Accor points, you'll want to do that for your stays and flights. So make sure you link those accounts before you do that. Another topic that was very popular on our site this week was Envision. And so much, I guess it's Calabria, the credit card issuer for many of the credit unions here in Canada, but we found it on Envision site, which is part of a Canadian credit union. They have a new cashback World Elite MasterCard and Visa Infinite card that is very competitive. It's much in the likes of your CIBC Dividend Visa Infinite and your Scotia Momentum Visa Infinite cards. It's a 4% cashback card on groceries, 4% on transit, really strong. $20,000 annual cap, which is the same as the Scotia and CIBC card. So it's almost mimicking that card in those cards in some sense. So a very, very strong competitor. We're gonna have to keep our eye on here. Now, it is Calabria, so you can get this through most credit unions in Canada that have Calabria cards. We focus on Envision because if I recall correctly, now I'll double check this, or somebody can let me know if they know for sure. But the last time I checked, Envision was available to most Canadians, whereas a lot of these other credit union ones are specific to, you have to be a member of that specific credit union. Whereas Envision, you don't have to. Anybody can apply for their cards through there. So that's why we kind of focus on that one, even though there are technically other credit unions that have these cards. So this is a very strong, 4% cashback card on groceries and sustainable transit, 2% on dining, recurring bills, digital media, and then 1% on everything else. $120 annual fee, $150 sign-up bonus in the first year. So pretty competitive card. I mean, the insurance side of things isn't the greatest, but if you're more on the reward side, and a lot of cashback people more for the reward side, definitely a card to consider now. I'm going to keep an eye on it and probably write about it more here in the near future, because it is, pretty close to being equivalent to the CIBC Dividend and Scotia Momentum Visa Infinite cards. So, keep that one in mind. The Envision World Elite Cashback MasterCard or their Visa Infinite Cashback MasterCard. Continuing on, another popular topic this week, which we just posted yesterday, which was Thursday, was Dragon Pass, adding Air Canada Maple Leaf Lounge from New York LaGuardia to their network. That's I think one of the biggest complaints of Dragon Pass that I've heard from people ever since they've taken over from Priority Pass on most Canadian credit cards is that they didn't have as many lounges as Priority Pass, especially in the US. So it's nice to see this one added. Air Canada, of course, this is really good and specific for Canadians because Dragon Pass is bigger for the Canadian market than the US market. There aren't many US cards. Actually, I don't know of any US cards offering Dragon Pass memberships. You can correct me if there are, but I haven't really seen any. Most of them offer Priority Pass. So this lounge access for the LaGuardia is great for those of you guys traveling to New York. It's in Terminal B where Air Canada is, and American, Southwest, a couple other airlines. So definitely a lounge to check out if you don't get access anyways. There's a Centurion lounge there. So if you have an Amex Platinum card, you can go to the Centurion lounge. But if you have Dragon Pass through your Visa Infinite or your World Elite MasterCard, then you have your LaGuardia lounge now here at the Air Canada Maple Leaf Lounge, which Chris on our Facebook page has mentioned. It's a really good lounge. So definitely, if you're flying through New York and flying out of LGA, this is one to check out and utilize using your Dragon Pass membership from your credit card, or if you buy a Dragon Pass membership directly. Now that was Dragon Pass let us know about that. They also let us know that there was about over 20 more lounges added in the past month. Most were in Asia. There was 2 or 3 in Africa as well. Of note, in Asia, if you're traveling to Tokyo, they added the Aspire Lounge in Narita. There's a new Plaza Premium in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, which has been added as well. So they've added over 20, and there's even more coming. They let me know that they're really being aggressive in adding new lounges. So this is great news for those of you guys who do utilize your Dragon Pass memberships from your credit cards, whether it's free passes or the discounted entry fee for the lounges. So definitely something to also keep aware is to always check the Dragon Pass site every once in a while. They've told me that they're going to keep me updated on a monthly basis. So if you're checking their site very frequently, you'll see it on Rewards Canada at least hopefully once a month with these new lounge updates. Especially, we'll cover North America more since more majority of Canadians are traveling within North America, but any notable international ones we'll add there as well. So keep an eye on that. And I think really that is, I remember one more thing, the Air France business class sale, another one that generated a lot of traffic this week. Posted that a few days ago. It's actually been out for a little while, but we caught it kind of late. Got an email from Straight to the Points. I was mentioning it. And their new route out of Ottawa and the returning route out of Quebec City, they have some insane business class pricing, under $2,300 round trip to select cities in Europe, like Paris, Budapest, Venice, a few others. So definitely check that out. We learned today it's been extended. It was supposed to end on May 18th, but the Air France portion, because KLM had a sale as well, but that ended May 18th. So definitely check that out. We learned today it's been extended. It was supposed to end on May 18th, but the Air France portion, because KLM had a sale as well, but that ended May 18th. But I did see that they still had some really good pricing today on KLM. I'm kind of going off track here, but the Air France portion of the sale has been extended until May 31st. So be sure to check that out if you're in the Ottawa area, Quebec City area, or want to reposition there and take advantage of some excellent business class fares. Like I said, I think it's $22.44 round trip out of Ottawa and Quebec City. Now, if you buy it through the international airline program, if you have the platinum card from American Express, you can get it for about $50 to $100 cheaper than that as well, because Air France is part of that program. Really underutilized, or I guess underspoken about program is the international airline program on the platinum card. That alone can pay for the card itself if you fly business class a few times per year and are paying for it with cash, because it does provide decent savings over the published prices that the airlines you'll find, or through like Expedia and things like that, by booking it through American Express Travel and utilizing the international airline program. So keep that in mind, because that's a great benefit off the platinum card that I just don't think gets enough fanfare to it, because it is a great deal. And the good thing about it as well too is it works on WestJet's economy class fares, not the absolute lowest one, but the second lowest and up. You can save on those WestJet fares as well. I've used it in the past, and it provides decent savings, especially on last minute fares. It saved us, our family, a lot of money there. So check that out. The Air France sale from Ottawa and Quebec City to Europe, under $2,300 business class round trip. Amazing fares, and that's throughout the summer into the fall. Believe it, until right before the Christmas season starts, which is December 15th. So check that out. We have the post on the site. I'll put all the links in the description as well. And that pretty much covers it for this week. It was a bit of a quieter week in the entire world of loyalty points, credit cards, and travel. quiet in terms of, I guess, quantity of news items, but the news was big, of course, with WestJet's strike and the government in Canada making this agreement with Visa and MasterCard. But other than that, I think we've really covered everything here in this week. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Enjoy your long weekend, and I will see you on the next episode of This Week in Rewards, which should be next Friday. Thanks for tuning in.